Hey guys, Jay here, and today I comes to you talking about two things. So the first thing is a couple of confirmed mechanic by POE dev themselves in Discord. So there's a couple of things, they actually have a lot of confirmation, but there are two main points that I am going to mention in the mechanic that I think directly related to my personal plan on starting a early access for POE2. And then the other one is going to be my plan going into it. This is like a sneak peek of it. But let's talk about the mechanic first. So this is the big one for me. Trigger skill can't generate energy. I kind of have suspect and still coping, trying to, lie to myself, hoping that this is not the case, but there it is. It is confirmed. Loop is dead. We cannot create a loop build because you cannot use spell from a trigger to trigger another setup, basically. So there is no looping. Energy, this thing just prevent any kind of looping from happening. So that's not possible. However, we can still use, like, for example, one single spell. Let's just say you spam one single spell. And that spell, if it ignite, it can fuel up, it can give energy for cast on ignite. If it crit, it can give energy for cast on crit. If it kills a minion, I will talk about it in my plan, but if it kills a minion as well, it is going to trigger cast on minion death. So there's a bunch of things, a bunch of pretty cool things that we can still use, and we can still make like a trigger build with it. At least for now, my plan going forward is going to be explained in a little bit. It's still going to be Infernalist. Anyway, there's another point I want to quickly mention here. Obviously, I will leave the link into this list of answer from Viperesque in the description of the video. But the other thing I want to mention quickly is damaging element care about the final pre-mitigation damage of the hit now. So crit damage naturally affect the ignite damage with crit. So this applies to basically all damaging elements. So we can do ignite, obviously, we can do bleed, we can do poison, but the main thing that we can get away from this is what we need to scale for a damaging element. Let's just say I am planning to build ignite, and I am. So let's just say I am going to build ignite. So the main thing is I want to get a hit that is as big as possible in order to get the best out of the ignite. So just naturally we can have things that is very obvious for these kind of ignite or bleed build. And I'm talking about Hammer of the God. So that is the skill that we know for now that has a huge cooldown, but also the huge damage multiplier. It has the highest damage multiplier we ever seen, actually. So Hammer of the God, it seems to be like a go-to button for single target for actually a lot of builds that do like ignite. If we do fire damage, we can bleed with it with physical damage, and if you have physical or chaos, I'm not entirely sure, you can do poison with it as well. So that is going to be a very big button, and in my setup I think I am going to use one of those setup for like single target to kill bosses as well. Anyway, let's get to the actual setup. I am not having Hammer of Scott in here, by the way. It is going to be like included at some point, but these are the, I think, are the interesting stuff. So what I am going to do is going to be spamming a fire projectile spell. So I am using Fireball here as the placeholder. I am going to link it to a bunch of like utility and coverage gem like Wild Shard. It can be multiple projectile. It can be fast casting. This spell, for now, I know there are Fireball and then Rolling Magma. They are the confirmed fire spell projectile that we can use here. And we still have two additional things, and maybe we can replace some of these as well. So not entirely sure. However, these are the rough ideas. So we will have a decent coverage from these things. What we will be triggering is, first of all, very important, Raging Spirit. This will reserve 30 of your spirit, which is very low amount. It is equal to like a herald. Raging Spirit. You can have up to maximum 10 Raging Spirit. You can summon up to 5 of them from a projectile spell hit, that is fire. So you need a fire skill here. That is the first synergy. So you are going to summon a bunch of Raging Spirit. And what do they do? Well, obviously they're going to help you do the damage. They're going to do a bunch of damage depending on how well they can be scaled. So that we need to wait until we are actually in the game, so we can decide which kind of support we are going to do for them. But this is a combo of support skill for Minion, for utility, that I think is quite like potential. And it is not going to be scaling damage with Minion damage, it is going to scale damage with Minion health. And Infernal Legion and Minion instability. This is quite famous in POE1 as a popcorn build. It can be popcorn zombie, it can be summon Raging Spirit, but in POE1 this is a very well-known, well-established build. In POE2 there is a bunch of change. So in POE1, Infernal Legion do flat damage. It burns down your own enemy and deals flat fire damage over time to enemies nearby. In POE2 now, it actually deals damage based on percent health of the minion. So I think the potential for scaling is much higher. And obviously Minion's instability, same story. It scale off of the minion's health. And I think the threshold for low life is still 50%. That I don't see any reason to change that, but even if they change it to another number, I don't think it is going to be a big deal, right? So we are trying to deal a bunch of damage based off of the minion's health, and they are going to die doing so. Explode, right? And if they die, we can potentially even use this one. Let's assume we don't need to play Infernalist. Let's assume we have mana problem. Essence Harvest is insane for mana, for just getting back a lot of mana. Recover, what we see here, the number is 50 mana when a minion from supported skill dies. We have so many Raging Spirit, and if we are killing them off ourselves frequently, we will get back our mana. So potentially I don't even need to use Infernal Flame shenanigan if we cannot take the damage early on. Maybe if we have access to this skill gem first, to this support gem first, it can be just like a very nice thing to just get us a bunch of mana back to continuously casting more Fireball. Next one, obviously, cast on Ignite. So yeah, oh, by the way, this synergy, I think I should talk about this one first. Cast on Minion Death. Hey, self-explanatory. So if we do Minion here, and if we are killing them off ourselves, obviously you can use Cast on Minion Death to trigger a bunch of other spells. So just insert any spell here that you think looks cool and maybe deals a lot of damage. So yeah, Cast on Ignite, we are using a fire spell. So naturally, I think we should go for some Ignite shenanigan. And that means Cast on Ignite is also on the table. Very naturally. We can do like curses on this if we want. We can do like Flame Wall or Frost Wall shenanigan with Fortress. So we have like a bunch of extra damage, and or also we have a bunch of CC, because Frost Wall, if you link with a Fortress support, it will create a ice wall circle around the target. And it potentially can just trap the monster inside. And yeah, we'll see in the game which one seems to be the best. Then we have Cast on Crit, right? If we can scale crit reliably, I'm not sure we can do that yet, but given this gem is 100 spirit, this is the single most expensive gem. I think there's another one which is also 100, but this is the most, oh shit. Castle Critical. This is the most expensive reservation that I've seen. The 100 number here. For context, we will always have 180 spirit by default, because we have 6 quests in the campaign, which each one is going to give you 30 spirit, and you will have 180 spirit for each character. That's going to be the same on all character. And you can also use a scepter for additional spirit. All scepter base we know so far have 100 spirit, and it can roll increased spirit on it. We don't know if it can roll any flat on it, so potentially we can have more, but at least we can have like up to 200 spirit from the scepter. We see 170, 180 something, I don't remember exactly. However, anyway, even if we reserve all of these, we still have spirit if we wear scepter. So cast on crit, if we can reliably crit, then we can trigger a bunch of skill here as well. We already talked about cast on minion death. So the other thing, maybe we should, I think I should talk about blasphemy. I think this is probably one of the better, stronger reservation that we can have here. So each curse is going to reserve 30 spirit, and with all the number that we see, there's a bunch of extremely strong curses. Maybe we don't need to use flammability. If we have other way to like penetrate, or maybe just reduce the resistance here, is going to be nice for damage over time, because naturally I don't think damage over time will still have penetration just like in POE1. If it have, it will be amazing. It will be very, very nice. But if it doesn't, let's assume it doesn't have mitigate penetration, then the flammability is going to be very, very valuable here, obviously. Also, enfeeble and temp chain and feeble. This number is quite insane. This is a lot. Temp chain. Okay, this website doesn't have the number. Let me actually have this website. Temporary. This is, I think, the support website. So I need to go to skill gem. Okay. Temporary chain. Look at this number. Cursed enemies are slowed by 34%. And feeble. Still, exact same number. So these are crazy number defensively. So potentially we can have like a second curse, because we are a witch. We are on the top side but the skill tree at the start. So it is going to be pretty easy to reach Whisper of Doom in the upper top corner of the skill tree. So blasphemy is going to be very insanely strong if we still have spirit. I think we still have a bunch of spirit left. So let's just do a quick calculation here. 30, 90, 190, 220, 250 for all these things that we have. And we supposed to have, if we just say a base scepter, we still have like 30. We still have exactly 30 reservation left for spirit. So spirit. Let's just see what are the things that we can still have. Okay. Herald. We might be able to still have a herald. So if this thing is going to help, I don't really look at all the herald yet, but if you want to, you can have like a herald, or maybe you can have another curse from blasphemy. Obviously you should have like a hammer of the god here. It required a mace, and I will probably wear a mace on a weapon swap for just this skill for single target. Cannot be evade, so we don't need to worry about accuracy, as our build is kind of like heavily spell, but this is an attack, so we will try to still have a bunch of like generic fire damage of some sort. Maybe we need to get the Avatar Fire Keystone. I will see on the skill tree, but this is potentially something that we can use. As you can see here, huge 1,307% damage, but cooldown is 24 seconds. So this is a button that we can potentially use for single target, assuming we can have the scaling right. All right, so that is just the rough idea of what I am going to be starting in the early access. It is going to be a Witch Infernalist still. If the plan change, I will make a video about it, because yeah, I really enjoy theory crafting. I do hope that they will release a version of the skill gem. I do think, by the way, I do think that there is a previewed version of the skill tree. There's a preview version of the skill tree, but I believe it is just like all the notable that is already revealed by Dreamcore or something. Let me just see. I do see someone posted it on Facebook. POE2 skill tree viewer. Yeah, it is this one. Yeah, so they do have here, so basically all the information that we have known for now are here, right? All these yellow thing we already know, but the purple thing we don't. So this is a very, very rough thing to plan around, but here is the thing that I am talking about, Whisper of Doom. So we are studying as a witch, so we will be here, right? We are going to be a witch infernalist. Highlight, please don't highlight small, highlight the ski stone. Okay, I identify. All right, cool. So here we are going to probably, I think our skill tree is going to be on this side, the upper side, and then the side over here to get some defense. Personally, that is going to be my approach. I'm not sure where is the path I am going to take, but let me see a couple of things here. Probably I will go like this way and get this, right? And we'll go up and go get this. We will probably get these things. We'll probably get these things. So the skill tree, we can path here, or we can path this way up and then just do around the skill tree. So this looks like I am going to plan something that is pretty damn similar to a lot of build in POE1, where we go to the outer edge and then we travel and get the good stuff on the edge. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I will leave all the links that I am using in the video in the description. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video and stay tuned for more content like this. Subscribe to the channel. Peace.